For the first time in 2024, Formula One heads back to Europe with the Autodromo Enzo Indino Ferrari, more commonly known as Imola, for round 7 of the 2024 season. So next up, it's Monaco that rounds out the month of May. June takes us to Canada, Spain and Austria. July sees the British Grand Prix at Silverstone before Hungary and Belgium. Summer break before August has Netherlands. Italy takes us in September with Jean and Singapore. October, United States, Mexico. November, Brazil and Las Vegas. December takes us to Qatar, and the season rounding out in Abu Dhabi. It's the longest season, and for the first time, Formula One hits its European strand. In the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen leads the way on 136 points. Sergio Perez is second on 103. Charles Leclerc on 98. Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz with victories this year are level on 83 points. Oscar Piastri has 41. George Russell 37. Fernando Alonso 33. Lewis Hamilton on 27. And then a big gap to Yuki Tsunoda, who rounds up the top 10. He's on 14. Lance Stroll has 9, Ollie Bearman and Nico Hülkenberg have 6 apiece, Danny Ricciardo has 5, Esteban Ocon has 1, the same as Kevin Magnussen. Albon, Zhou, Gasly, Bottas and Sargent still yet to score. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead on 239 points. Ferrari have 187, McLaren 124. Mercedes have 64 with Aston Martin 42. RB have 19, Haas have 7, Alpine have 1. Williams and Kick Sauber still pointless so far in 2024. Let's take a look around the Autodromo Enzo Indino Ferrari circuit. It's more commonly known as Imola, 3.050 miles, 19 turns and 1 DRS zone. Been on and off the calendar since 1980. Get a good exit out of the last corner of Ravazza and push hard as you cross the control line. It's a straight line drag with the DRS open as you hurtle down 8th gear, flat out, engine singing before slamming on the brakes down to 5th gear as you enter in towards Tamburello. Get on the power mid-corner, ride the curbs as well, use the exits as much as you can as you hurtle downhill to the Villeneuve chicane. Again, power mid-exit with slight brake and deviation as you come in towards Tosa. 3rd gear corner, rise back uphill. Piratella next up as well. This is where the car starts to feel just a little bit out of balance because as you rise over the crest, you're flicking the car in, you understeer, and then you have to go downhill towards Aqua Minerale. A double right-hander, flat to the first part, lift, down 3 gears, up, snap of oversteer, control it. Variante Alto is next, the tightest corner on the entire track. It's a chicane, right and left over the bumps. Mid-power, back at the exit, so easy to invalidate your lap time. Downhill once more though as you come past where all the houses are. The flats give you the best view as you brake downhill hard and turning at the same time into the 2 Ravazzas. Get a good power at the last corner, run a little bit of a wheel in the gravel, so easy to do as you cross the control line, and that is a lap of Imola. Hello everybody and welcome to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix weekend here at the Autodromo Enzo Indino Ferrari circuit. It's our first stop on the European calendar in 2024, and alongside me for the start of this session is Omi. JT is on his way shortly as well, but Omi, we should be in for a cracking weekend here. Loads of upgrades as it's the start of the European season.
Lots of upgrades indeed, and we're of course coming off the back of a Lando Norris victory last time out in Miami, so cannot wait to see how McLaren get on. And Red Bull have bought a couple of upgrades as well, but the main upgrades and the main hype has been around Ferrari for their home race. We don't know how their upgrades are going to work. Lots of speculations over the week, and it's finally time to get some answers on how good the upgrades actually are, and could we possibly get a title fight in 2024.
We're keeping our fingers crossed about it as well, and it's the first of a normal weekend here at Emilia-Romagna as well. We have practice 1, 2, 3, then qualifying the race, but also paying tribute to Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger, who lost their lives 30 years ago. There'll be a special tribute as well. We'll have our flag up of Ayrton Senna on race day, and also a tribute to Roland Ratzenberger on stream as well, with him being in the background. So we'll have both the Austrian and Brazilian flags up on the stream alongside us on the multi-viewer as well. Encoding overloading. Yeah, well, that's because it's trying to do several things. You might have noticed we've been on there twice, because the first one didn't go too well, because it linked back to the Miami intro as well. But what do you think of the new background, the Google Earth spin around at the back? That's our new feature for when we do these shows as well, because it's boring looking at a stable background when we've got this. So when we're on a 3-screen or 2-screen in the pre-show, this is what you'll see, and then we'll have a normal angle for all of the session data. But Omi, just coming to you quickly, it's a dry track, could be a wet race. What are you expecting in this first practice session?
I think they're just going to be trying to get as much as running as well, but back to the traditional format. And yeah, I do really like the moving image, much better than a stable one.
Well, OBS has crashed at the moment, so that's a great start. It's come back to us now. So let's get ready for the start of Free Practice 1. We're all set to go for Formula One here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It's our first stop on the European side of the calendar in 2024. Imola is awesome. It has hosted so many legendary battles over the years. We've had victories, we've had tragedies, but this is deep in the heart of Formula One. It's named after the founder of the greatest team in the sport's history, Enzo Ferrari, and his late son Dino Ferrari as well. This place, though, 34.45 metre elevation change, 19 turns in total. It's a hard, abrasive circuit, but Pirelli have brought the softest tyres available. Isn't that a counterbalance as well? Soft C5, medium C4, hard at the C3. No David Croft this weekend, so I'm going to give a little bit of an introduction to Harry Benjamin, who's in the commentary box alongside Corinne Channock at Sky.
Special is that?
It's wonderful to be back. Doesn't it look great, Harry, this morning? Lovely sunshine. We were greeted yesterday when we arrived in the paddock with thunderstorms and heavy rain, but that's thankfully gone away. 23 degrees air temperature, the track up to nearly 43 degrees. And the Tifosi are all pouring in, not just to see Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, but I tell you what, Lewis Hamilton, their driver for next year and beyond, got a fantastic reception when he arrived in the paddock this morning.
It really is a fantastic place to be here in Imola for this Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And as you say, the Tifosi absolutely packing out the grandstands. and we are really looking forward to seeing what the reception is going to be like for Lewis Hamilton when he does appear. And of course, upgrades are also the talk of the town throughout today in Imola. Pretty much everybody bringing an upgrade, with the exception of RB, but Ferrari bringing a big upgrade, which might give the Tifosi something to smile about.
Yeah, there's going to be lots for Ted to get into when he's down in the pit lane with all of those bits. But this is where the syncing of your upgrade package is really going to make a difference in terms of relative performance. What I mean is McLaren, for example, we know brought a huge heap of stuff to Miami. They went a race earlier than most other people, as did RB, but the others now have got their bits. So it's going to be fun. I think anyway, this guy, Lando Norris, we see on screen, he's going to be coming here with a wave of confidence and, you know, just a relief, I think, in some ways, that he's finally got that first win. But this is a track where he's a bit of a specialist. Like Austria, we've seen him get podiums here in the past. He's been super quick at a time when McLaren weren't super quick, and I expect big things from him this weekend.
Absolutely, as we see the first one for Harry Benjamin. You can't not say hello to him as he comes into it as well. JT's alongside me in the commentary box, but down in the pits is Ted Kravitz.
Karun, yes, welcome to the pit lane. What a track this is. What a track this is. Imola in the sunshine. Blue sky ahead of us, just a few white fluffy clouds around. And we have the newest Grand Prix winner down here in the pit lane, Lando Norris from Glastonbury, Somerset. And look at the aero rake on that. I tell you what, that is absolutely massive. And we're already seeing Fernando Alonso. I'm sure you're seeing him in the Aston Martin with a huge aero rake. Obviously, just there to get a snapshot, a picture of the air. You can't really photograph air, can you, Harry? Well, you can if you've got one of these aero rakes on the car. So you're just seeing what the airflow is doing off the front wing. I'm also seeing one on the back of the Ferrari as well. They're going to have to do some aero testing. But such is the confidence in Ferrari's upgrade that they're not going to do any back-to-back testing of the new bits they've got. There is Carlos Sainz with the Flovis paint on the back of his rear wing. Ferrari is so confident that what they've got is going to work, they're not going to do any back-to-back testing between old and new bits. High energy and high confidence down here in the pit lane, especially in Ferrari. Right, the session is underway. Off you go.
Thank you very much.
Green lights on, we're underway then for the first practice session of the weekend, and finally we can hear from JT as the cars head out here for the, oh my word, this is going to be a big one. Are you ready? You've been waiting, JT, haven't you, for me to say this line? And you know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Here we go.
Right, I'm getting it up so I can actually read it all. Welcome to the Formula One MSC Cruises Grand Premiere de Made in Italy e delle Emilia Romagna 2024 Grand Prix. What a stupid name. It's too long. Anyway, hello, how are you?
Hello. Actually, very, very good.
Oh,
The
good.
things I was doing last night, Josh.
Yeah, the revision and all the work, yeah.
Yes. The exact same question in the paper that I was working on yesterday was on the paper that I did today.
Oh, fantastic. That is lucky. Oh, they're redoing test papers.
And
Where was that in 2015?
literally, there was questions about how you separate stuff, which was all the stuff that we'd been doing in class like the last 2 weeks, so it was all good.
Sorry, I just had a bit of a moment when I realised it's 9 years since I did GCSE exams. Breathe, everybody, breathe. No, that's all right, not too bad. Still get nervous this time of the year as well. So, down the circuit. Tell you what, I was wondering why I could hear Harry Benjamin. I've left the fader up for him on my earphones to come into it. So, yeah, always nice to see. Hello, Omi, how are you?
Doing well, but I just completely heard something opposite to what you said yesterday.
Oh, really?
I just heard
Ben
the words,
Edwards!
I'm Alex Jackson, joining me all weekend long is Jolyon Palmer.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
interactive button on your remote control and
Okay, Harry's still talking over the Gasly radio, but I know why that is, because in this weekend's
I've just
edition,
seen.
Ben Edwards is on the BBC 5 live commentary. Ben's back on 5 Live! So Harry Benjamin is on Sky Sports F1, and Ben Edwards is alongside Alex Powell on 5 Live. Oh, wow! Ben is there. Yes, I'm happy about that. So no Crofty, you get Harry Benjamin, Ben Edwards and Alex Jakes. Oh, wow. What an interesting weekend this is going to be. And do you know what that, Omi, do you know what that means? It's not the first weekend since Australia 2012 that we won't have lights out, away we go, because Ben's there. I don't have to say it.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I guess you can celebrate. I'm still very depressed though. No Alex Jakes on F2.
But you can hear him in the earphones though. That's why you do it to the F1. You can hear him on the F1. You have 2 earphones in. Anyway, let's get to the action and the upgrades coming into this weekend. Let's talk about McLaren, as you heard from Ted, our newest race winner coming into Formula 1. And I honestly think as well, JT, what an absolutely amazing job that Lando Norris did last time out at Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. An incredible drive from Lando Norris. Now officially a Formula 1 Grand Prix race winner as well. It was when, not if, for Lando Norris. And the when was the 2024 Miami Grand Prix.
Behrman is in the car this weekend, by the way, for practice 1 at Haas, replacing Kevin Magnussen as Sainz tries to have a little look up the inside of, I believe, Lewis Hamilton down at the first corner at Tamburello. Right, Red Bull upgrades. Front wing, floor edge, rear corner, floor body and nose, as we take a look at Max Verstappen, does a 1:20.085. Go on.
1.2 seconds.
On the soft tyre, though, besides on the hards, 1:21.040 though for Perez on the same tyre. So yeah, maybe start worrying there. Mercedes upgrades have floor fences, floor body, rear wing, a beam wing, and the front corner has changed. What have you noticed?
Leclerc's gone a 120.743 on the hards. Russell 119.704 on the medium.
Yeah, time's very much flying by quite quickly.
It is only 5 minutes in, so we can't read into it too much.
Yeah. Ferrari updates, though, as you were mentioning, front wing, rear wing, side pod inlet. That's now similar to the Red Bulls. The Coke engine cover, the floor edge, the diffuser, and the rear suspension. So basically, Ferrari have moved more in line with that of Red Bull. McLaren have brought a new rear wing and beam wing. That's what you're seeing them testing. Aston Martin have brought the most, though, with a front wing, a nose, a floor body, floor fences, floor edge, diffuser, Coke engine cover, then a rear suspension and rear corner as well. So several changes at Aston Martin, almost like what we saw McLaren bring at Miami with a B car. Alpine struggling still with money and technical issues. All they've got is floor edge. Williams have bought floor body. Sauber also bought floor fences. But Haas, with Hulkenberg having those upgrades, he's got front wing end plate, rear suspension and rear corner. They're all the updates from the cars this year as Ollie Behrman's family watches on. Behrman, of course, first driver in over 3 seasons since Nico Hulkenberg to drive more than one Formula 1 car in the same season. He's driven now the Haas and he drove the Ferrari as well. And going from a Ferrari to a Haas must be the equivalent of going from a motorbike to a push bike.
Wow.
I know, that's cruel, isn't
Josh.
it? Yeah.
Josh is on one today.
Well, it would be, wouldn't it? It's a very bad run. Hello to everyone listening in, by the way, on WSR. They're taking out commentary for some.
Nice.
Also, hello to everyone listening on if anything does happen, and I know people listen to it, hello to Will Wood. As they come into it. New wing then going on the front of Lando Norris. Is that McLaren going to have a 80s throwback livery for Ayrton Senna in Monaco? That's the question. I really hope so. A bit of orange, and I want what Pato Award's got this weekend for the Indy 500. The proposing bad there for Esteban Ocon. Here's the radio.
The ride on the straight lines is hitting the plank a lot. Like I'm jumping, the car is taking off.
See it there, can't you?
Yeah, it's proposing for Esteban Ocon. As we take a look at Oscar Piastri coming out of Ravazza and down the start-finish curve, because it's not really a straight. Turn 1 is already dealt with. It's just a little kink to the right. And then the left-right at Tamburello for Piastri, nicely through on the exit curve. Down towards the Villeneuve chicane. Max says that the track is really bumpy. Piastri is flying through that. Up towards Toza. 3.5 tenths up at Russell's time at the moment. McLaren, it's a Mercedes 1-2. McLaren are coming up. Tsunoda's gone fastest at the team's home race. 1:19.055. Piastri up to Piratella. Just takes a bit of dust at the exit. In towards Aqua Minerale.
Both Mercedes, never mind as Russell goes fastest, but both Mercedes were separated by 5 thousandths of a second. Russell goes 31 thousandths ahead of Tsunoda.
Piastri, exit of Variante Alta, down towards Ravazza, 1 and 2 as they come into it. Charles Leclerc is the 4th driver to change race engineers this year as well. Marcos Padros has gone to Bossi from Imola. Valtteri Bottas moved, of course, from Chan to Petrick at Miami. Lance Stroll moved from Michael to Vizard at Suzuka. And Zhou Guanyu moved from Becker to Benzi in Bahrain. So our 4th engineer change of the season as Piastri completed a 1:18.986, 12 thousandths faster than Hamilton at the moment. Verstappen on the soft tyre down in 8th, but they're testing upgrades. McLaren now closing in, but I'll tell you what though, 4 race wins for Max Verstappen, 1 for Carlos Sainz, 1 for Lando Norris. It seems like every 2-3 races, Max gets beaten, which is great news for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And going into that as well, we had a little look about it, about what races that could be. And one of them is Silverstone.
The
one
other
of them is the Netherlands.
Yeah, his home Grand Prix. He might find a little bit of trouble at. 3 races, so round 3 was Australia, round 6, of course, was Miami. Round 9 takes us to Canada, then round 12 takes us to Silverstone. Round 15 is the Netherlands, 16, 17, 18 at Singapore. 21 is Brazil, and 24, of course, is Abu Dhabi. And Max off the track, coming into the Aqua Minerale, just jumps over the curves a bit too much, and yeah, just puts some wheels on the gravel. So Max, who has won here before, struggling just a little bit. Lewis Hamilton also turning in and losing at the same part of the track. But these two had, of course, had a ding-dong at the start in 2021 before Hamilton had the weekend from hell.
Yep, absolutely. And just looking at, I believe, Alexander Albon, who's on an outlap, same as teammate Sargent and Norris as well in 20th. The drivers who have not gone out on track yet, currently, it's Alonso, so Bottas, so the 2 Saubers, and Gasly in the Alpine. Hulkenberg also joining them in the pit lane as well, but has done 1 bank lap. Tsunoda, purple sector 1, green sector 2.
Up on Verstappen's time of 1:18.606. Remember, this RB bringing a few upgrades, as we mentioned earlier on, but this is their home racetrack. And tell you what, it looks a bit boring not in their Miami livery. Maybe we should put it back to what it was earlier on. Yeah. Oh, and he's off the track. Tsunoda going wide at the first Ravazza and did well to save it. But he loses the time. Just the rear stepping out over the curb and catching the gravel. We cut to George Russell, but that was a big save there from Tsunoda.
Yeah, that was an impressive save there from Yuki Tsunoda. That's not been it here at your home race for the V-Car.
Russell does a 1:18.193. He goes fastest overall here with 48 minutes to go of the Emilia-Romagna first practice session at Imola. And the hashtag this weekend is the Imola Grand Prix. Look, he just steps out, JT, at the exit.
Yep, absolutely. Just steps out, as you said. Here, just
yeah, runs it wide.
So is a factor of that.
Oh, and Hamilton doing the same thing.
Well.
Now that is at Piratella. Interesting. It's getting hot in the commentary box, I've been told, so that's why the laptop's glitching. So I'm just going to go change it by opening the door.
Okay. As Toto Wolff looking on in the garage. And Hamilton goes across the line.
Let's hear from Bruno
And,
Frumin,
yeah.
the Alpine team principal.
In Miami, do you think more points might be on the table here?
Good afternoon. I think, yeah, we were happy, let's say, to get this point in Miami. Now, Imola is a very different track. I think the whole track quite bumpy. I'm not sure our driver will be very happy with the ride of the car. And let's say we are ready to push on to get the best of what we have right now.
Bruno, this is the first time I think you're joining us on the pit wall, and perhaps our viewers at home won't know, but you come from a strong engineering background with sports cars, and really you've come into this role from an engineering perspective. Where do you see the deficiencies of the Alpine right now? You know, at the moment, it's clearly been a tough start. What do you guys technically need to do to bring the car further in terms of competitiveness?
I think it's quite clear that we need to improve everything, the whole car. You know that, of course, with more downforce, more power, better grip, everything will be better. But it's all working together. We know that on the engine side, we cannot do anything due to the frozen engine period. But we need to work on the full concept of the car, trying to get more downforce to be able to work better, to make the tire working better. But it's the whole package we need to improve.
And Bruno, there's a bit of work going on Pierre Gasly's car at the moment. Can you tell us what's happening?
Yeah, Pierre complained about the car, but he was not feeling the car behaving very well. Then we are just checking if everything is fine.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you very much, Bruno Faman, Alpine team principal, for joining us from the garage. We'll be catching up with you throughout the weekend.
I think Harry Benjamin's getting quite into this weekend, isn't he? He's doing quite well over on Sky Sports F1. He is the BBC Radio 5 live commentator, so it's not really a change. Does it feel weird, JT, not having Crofty there? Slightly does to me.
I mean, yeah, but does it feel good? No comment, yes.
Oh, you cheek. Verstappen through Variante Alta. Whoa, again, the car is just understeering like crazy. He said the track was bumpy and he's struggling out there on soft tyres. Interesting, he's gone straight on soft. He's not doing any running on hard or medium. It's straight out there on one set of tyres as he comes through Ravazza too. Russell's on 117.909. Let's see what Verstappen does across the line. Eyes on the timing screen. It's a 118.050. He's a tenth and a half off the pace here of Russell. So,
Yeah.
Verstappen giving me a little bit of an alarm factor.
I think we can all agree that it is nice to hear another voice as main commentator on Sky Sports, though.
So the day that people request that I take a weekend off is the day that I've failed. It may happen. The Brazilian Grand Prix this year, it might happen if I don't get back from my niece's birthday party. So yeah, there's a chance. I mean, I've stepped away from a couple of races this year because of clashes or I'm not there, for instance. And I haven't done every... In fact, I don't think there's one series I haven't done all the races of. Apart from F1 and MotoGP. Sainz fourth, 118.269. But that's because they're my series. I'm not doing
You've
F1
done all
now.
No, you've not done all the IndyCar because of F1.
If anything, I've not done... If anything, you've done all the IndyCar this year.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I've done all the IndyCar. You've done all the F1 and MotoGP, Moto2.
Moto3, Moto E, yeah. Still
Yeah.
haven't done... I haven't commentated on the last Moto E 2 or 3 races yet. I'm doing that next week in the gap because it just got crazy.
F3?
Yeah, I've done all those, but I won't do all those after next week because there's races I miss.
Yeah. F1 Academy, you're always in the background.
I haven't done it, but I'm in the background.
Yeah, you're in the background, yeah.
But yeah, touring cars missed Brands Race 2. You took that. So yeah, there's a couple. But yeah, it's because we cover so much. It's just easy to have a wide verse. Like Porsche Super Cup, I won't be doing all of those this year, I don't think, because there's clashes. So Omi and Jess will probably take those. As Gasly flies up to the top of the hill. I think I'm stuffed though when we get to the week. Oh no, Jess is back on the Sunday. Never mind. She's a Formula student now, so yeah, that Hungarian Grand Prix weekend might just be a little bit interesting. Gasly still on the attack. That Alpine having a bit more blue on it this weekend though, JT. Looks a bit more like a racing car, not just a carbon fibre.
I mean, yeah, it was just carbon fibre. Now they've got a little bit more colour on it, which is nice to see.
New commentary boxes this year, by the way, at Imola. After the last ones were destroyed, they used to be down the old start-finish area, but they were destroyed and they've been knocked down. So brand new commentary boxes erected opposite the new start-finish line. In case you didn't know.
Destroyed in flooding, or because they needed new?
Well, the commentary boxes at Imola were the worst ever, because they're worse than Hungary, actually. But yeah, so the new commentary boxes moved further up. So a new start line. They're just there, over where that balcony is there. That's where the commentary boxes are now, across the start line. So yeah, very nice view. Hamilton comes through. I can hear Harry in the background. It's just yellow flag, sector 2, double yellow. It's Alexander Albon at Aqua Minerale who has gone off, and that looks to me like the car's just stopped, JT. It doesn't look like it's red flag's out, obviously, because he's getting out of the car. So that yellow will become red quite quickly, unless our race director is slacking as he's getting out of the car, and there's the red flag now to stop the session. Interesting though, it says clear on the track now, but it is red flagged.
Yes.
That's just stopped. That hasn't done anything. It's just come to a grounding halt. And Hamilton giving a wave to the new fans he'll have. The Tifosi, he will be driving for them in 2025. So he's just waving to his new fans. And there is James Vowles watching on and thinking, what am I doing here then? What's my deal? As the red flag is out with 40 minutes to go here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. What do you think, JT? Just cut out on him?
Yes, it did just cut out on him, I think. Let's have a listen.
Yeah. Turbo. So that's a hydraulic issue with a turbo failure, and he's jumped out the car because it says it's red as well. But that was the hydraulics giving up, and he didn't go down in gears either. I didn't hear a gear shift down, and taking a look at the control, it still says he's in 7th gear. So that went at 7th gear, and he never came out of 7th. If you take a look at the full timing screen here, look down at Albon, he's 14th. It says we lost data on him, 7th gear at 259 kilometers an hour. So yeah, that's just gone dead. Not his fault there. Hello, Coffee Dixon, hello. And SHG saying Williams and Albon just can't catch a break in 2024. And hello to Australia now. Looks like it though, JT, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, 2 seconds.
Williams team.
Sorry, it was going to an ad break. Go on.
Yeah, the Williams team just looking on.
New feature.
Getting ready for the car to return.
Now, I heard he's on. I want to hear him, because who doesn't love hearing a legendary commentator? Let's hear from Ben Edwards and Alice Powell. I'm going to turn their commentary on now in the background and hope we can hear from them. Well, I'm just saying that it needs to load, and you know what that takes.
But because the build process was delayed,
here we are.
They've had to rush fit parts to the car to get it ready for the season, and that's meant the parts that they've rushed are heavier than they should be, so they're carrying so half a second nearly of lap time to carrying for the first 6 races. They've just started to begin to take that weight off now. But it just goes to show how much work Vals needs to do at Williams to try and turn that team around, how out of date their processes had got over the previous 20 years or so of underinvestment. Just on Alex Albon's contract, actually, it's really annoying for the media. I don't know why. They will not tell us how long his contract is. They say it runs into the new regulation period, they say. So it's at least till the end of 2026, that means. Someone wrote that it was to the end of 2027. I was then told by someone very close to the deal that isn't true. So that means it's either to the end of 2026 or it's to the end of 2028 or longer. I just don't know. And what's so stupid about this when the teams do it is that we always find out, because the drivers' managers know, and they all talk to the teams, and then the other teams find out what the contract is, and then they tell us. So it's like, why don't they just say it in the first place? It's just ridiculous.
They just want to wind you up, Andrew.
Exactly.
I feel like they've done a good job.
No, it's an interesting story though, and with Alex Albon, I mean, he's been very much a good part of Williams, hasn't he, Alice? But you know, always thinking, as a driver, you're always thinking, is there somewhere better I can go? And Williams are not quite there yet, but obviously they're putting in the work to improve.
Yeah, they are, and just for example, with the weight situation, 10 kilos of weight in Formula One terms is essentially nearly 3/10 of lap time. So as much as 10 kilos might not sound too much to people, it makes a massive difference. But he's clearly putting the faith in the team. I'm surprised we've not heard a radio message to hear what was wrong with Alex Albon's car, but I've got a couple of friends actually that work at Williams, and they were so hard to get hold of over the winter because they were literally working day and night, working a whole rack of night shifts to try and get the car ready for the start of the season, as Andrew was touching on. We're riding on board with Joe.
I'm jumping like a kangaroo, Andrew.
So another one that's bouncing around. He says he's jumping like a kangaroo, and the car, we can see a lot of sparks coming from the underfloor. That is something though that we're seeing from a lot of cars. We saw from the onboard with Pierre Gasly, the bounce we saw from that helmet camera.
The ride is the worst we've had so far this year. I do something for it, can't even see where I'm going in the straights.
Yeah, copy that. We can see what you're talking about.
So Gasly there on radio talking about the same thing, about how the bottom of the car, the floor, is hitting the asphalt, the tarmac of the circuit. And we heard that from Esteban Ocon, his teammate, earlier on, but we're not just hearing it from the Alpine team, are we?
No, sadly not. As you hear it for yourselves now. Yeah, so bouncing around like a kangaroo out there. We're going to hear some more. We are indeed. This is Pierre Gasly again.
Yeah, Gasly also finding the bumps.
The ride is the worst we've had so far this year. I do something for it, can't even see where I'm going in the straights.
Yeah, copy that. We can see what you're talking about.
Green light's back on, Harry.
So Gasly with issues since the start of this session. First it was the brake pedals being a little bit too soft for his liking, and now finding the ride in that Alpine not very nice either. Joe Guan Yu complaining of bumps. Karun, is this porpoising or is this just a bumpy circuit by nature?
I don't recall it being particularly bumpy, if I'm honest, but and I don't recall this many complaints about it in 2022, although perhaps back then we were still just complaining of porpoising because it was the early days of these regulations, don't forget.
And a new word we all like saying.
And a new word that we all like saying, yeah. So, yeah, I guess maybe then we just put it down to porpoising. Perhaps it is a bit bumpy, but I will say, I mean, I spoke to a couple of drivers who'd been testing here recently, and they didn't mention bumps particularly. I didn't ask the question, but we can go and do some research and educate everyone at home in FP2, I guess.
I'm sure we absolutely can. Well, after Alex Albon's... well, we're not entirely sure what happened. We're trying to find out whether it was an electrical cutout or something to do with the engine. But either way, here's Williams parked up on the exit of Aqua Minerale. That caused a red flag. Albon being escorted away back to the paddock. He's fine and safe and out of the car. Momentary red flag. Now back to green flag racing. But Ted, I wonder, do we know any more about what happened to Albon's Williams?
Well, we don't, because we're still waiting for official word from the Williams team when they want to tell us. But what I can tell you is that the engineers know what's going on, because they've got all the data in front of them. So I'm watching James Unwin, Alex's race engineer, and Albon's performance engineer going through the data. So they will know precisely what little glitch it was which stopped the Williams number 23 of Alex Albon. And I'm sure once they get the car back, they'll be able to fix it. It doesn't look like, by the body language and from what I can see in the garage, it's anything significant that's going to curtail his running for free practice too. So inconvenient, Harry, in that they won't be able to do the rest of the running. I'm seeing lots of, but not the end of the weekend. I'm seeing lots of people now trying the soft tyre. Worth remembering that it is the softest trio of Pirelli's range, if you haven't said that already, and softer than we've ever run, Harry and Karun, I'm pretty sure, at Imola, isn't it?
Yep.
So,
it
so I
is.
can see why Red Bull were trying that soft tyre early on to see what it's going to do, and I'm interested, apart from qualifying, to see how much of an appearance it makes in the race. Maybe it won't.
Yeah, we're thinking the same thing as Charles Leclerc comes up to the line and jumps to the top with a 1:17.438. Nice, though, JT, to hear from Ben Edwards back on F1 commentary this weekend as well. I think he's doing 4 races this year then.
Yep, absolutely. As it does not feel like it's been half an hour. It feels like it's only been 20 minutes. That first half an hour has absolutely flown by.
Yeah, can fly back. But also, JT, I don't know if you heard about the weather at Indianapolis. The first hour looks like it's going to be washed out. The second hour and third hour look like we're going to have some running. 4 hours to 4, 5, and 6, however, constant rain delays with some track action and not. So during that time, I'm going to hand over to IndyCar Radio, but I'm going to leave you with TeamViewer on my PC with your mic live on Bus Mixer so that you can interrupt if there's anything that happens. Okay?
Awesome.
Excellent. And you won't be alone, because then everybody can drop into the commentary box without you having to do anything.
Awesome. I'm not
all by yourself. No. Because I might have to dash. Might being the optimal word. Although I would really like it if I could dash. Because I need to help someone. So, you know, it's kind of like upsies, downsies. Because otherwise they're going to be far behind on what they need to do. And it's a crunch time situation. Russell jumping over the chicanes at Tamburello.
Bit of a big one over the curb.
Bit of a big one over the curb for George.
Oh, and there it is. There's the Harry Benjamin from the radio. That's the problem. As I've done it before as well, if I'm commentating on TV pictures, say I'm doing F1 esports, it's a different thing to commentate on radio than it is to television. Yes, you can see us at home, but we are providing a radio-style commentary, which means we talk about what we see out there on the circuit. We've got a hybrid of the two, but if you can't hear a radio message correctly, we have to repeat it. But on TV pictures, you can read it. Harry's saying it, and that's exactly what Crofty used to have to do. Because you can't adapt quick enough. Because it's a different style. With us, JT, we have to keep talking. But on TV, you don't have to.
Yep, as Hamilton is 87 thousandths up in Sector 1.
Josh don't mind me if Silverstone by 4 races. I feel like crying. I'm already heartbroken. Yeah, but Omi, he'll be on Channel 4. You get to listen to Channel 4. Science 117, 120. Oops. Tell you what, though, feel sorry for me. God knows what I'm doing this year. Last year, we were able to have another monitor up here in the commentary box to keep an eye on Channel 4. We don't have that luxury this year. So I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Try.
Possibly, yeah. Because I always like keeping an eye. Well, actually, that tells like we might have a bit more, hopefully, some cash by then. I might be able to, have another monitor. Look at Hamilton.
Behrman's fastest in the speed trap.
What? Behrman, worst F2 season of his career, best F1 season of his career. Only done 1 race and now doing a practice session. There's just no stopping that man. Alex's car shut down after going over a curb. The cause is currently unknown and will be investigated when the car is back. So after he went over a curb, coming out of Piratella. Interesting.
Yes.
Lewis Hamilton seeing a giant Ferrari flag over the background. And very much so will be waiting to see that. Also, might shock you here, JT. I'm not wearing a shirt on Sunday. Oh, and that's a lock up into the gravel! One of the RBs, I can't tell which one it is, getting caught out by one of the Red Bulls in the braking zone. Who was it?
Classic.
And who's the RB? Ricardo?
I believe it was Sonoda.
It's not coming towards us that quickly. Can't tell. Piastri at Ravazza. Running wide as well. It could have been Ricardo if it was Perez. If Perez blocked the Red Bull, then it must be Ricardo. Here's no message with him.
Hello, something's wrong.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Hello.
Radio tech. Well, just look at the dates, mate. So it just cut out, everything turned off, it's back on now. But...
So, some issues.
So Lando's got nothing on his dashboard. Okay. When do we panic?
Now.
Cue the graph. Alonso 12th, 118 point. What is it? 118.962. Took me a while to read that actually on the time monitor. We've got up here in the box. Perez P9 to P7. 117.891. Moving up and down. There's Hugh Bird. Ted. Roller coaster.
In and get to know exactly why that was. But Lando Norris, just to update you, had some aero paint on his car for that run, and they're now getting photos of it to show the aerodynamicists while trying to figure out what that little electronic spike was, or whatever it was that caused Lando a little interruption. But yeah, I think he was coming into the pits because of that, wasn't it? From what that radio sounded like. And
sorry, Esther and Ocon, the bottoming and the bouncing is getting a bit better. The most sexual joke you'll see in practice one.
A few drivers out there.
Oh, Ted's gone. What the hell was that? Did he say? Has he said that on Multiview yet? Can we get that in? Has it come through? No, it hasn't. What on earth was that all about? Strangest message I think I've ever heard in the commentary box. This is Bearman. Oh, we two bouncing in. Oh, curb one. And a lot of curb through Variante Alta. Bearman has liftoff. Yep. Oh, he just kept one tire off. Can't see. Hasn't come through yet on the radio messages chat. Usually we get to hear those radio messages. I wonder why they haven't come through. Someone will have that clip. Where is he anyway? Ocon's behind Russell coming down to turn 5 and 6, the Villeneuve chicane. I love this track. You just get all the names on it as well. I was thinking maybe I should put the names on alongside the corners, but you all know what they are. Gasly goes 11th, 118.820. You've got Tamburello, the chicane, and then you're down to the Villeneuve chicane. The two parts of the track changed after...
Which we are now.
Now, yeah. 94. Toza. I still don't like Toza. I know they've changed Tamburello, but I could never go through Toza without thinking of Roland and just him being there in the accident. It's awful. At the top of the hill, Piratella. This segment changed into Aquamarale. It used to be a quick chicane, but now they quicked it into a double. Uphill, getting past one of the Mercedes there of Russell. Variante Alta, the closest chicane, the hardest corner on the track, and he's missed it! Sainz goes off, bad at the entry, and cuts the corner across the grass at Variante Alta. And now he's joined Leclerc at Toza, coming up towards Piratella. Bottom of the hill at turn 7. And then turn 8, then 9 and 10 comes through. This is Piratello at the top of the hill. Literally, now with gravel at the exit, it makes that commitment so much more harder. Acqua Minerale, between the legs up the hill we go. And then towards Variante Alta. And Leclerc's up by 0.124 as he comes through the chicane. Oh, he too got lift off, and that was a bit too much curb. He's lost a lot of time there, Leclerc. Into Ravazza. Oh, and that's Hamilton! Spun at the exit of Acqua Minerale as Leclerc comes across the line and goes fastest by a tenth. 1:16.990, but Hamilton has spun at the exit of Acqua Minerale. Has he got going? Yes, he has, according to the driver tracker. Alonso's coming through there, but how did Hamilton spin? He must have got a wheel on the exit curb and then through the gravel. Let's take a look at it. Oh, this is Sainz in the locking up and missing Variante Alta. Just straight on there. Oh, just a twitch in the apex. Bounces the car through. So, how did Hamilton do it? That's what I want to know. So, yeah, let us know. I think we should box. Here we go, JT. This is into Piratello.
What's that coming over the hill? There's a slow car. And here we go into up the hill. Just gets on the curb. What's that coming over the hill? It's a spinning Mercedes.
What's that coming over the hill? Is it a Hamilton?
I just got on the inside curb too much.
Yeah, and he just bounced him over. Look, he hits, and that's the problem with these sausage curbs here at Imola. It just puts it in. Russell, yeah, second fastest at the moment. Hamilton, I believe, is boxing. Hamilton, box for Russell, pit stop practice and switch off. Hamilton is at Tosa, so he's having a cool down lap before going again. There's Toto Wolff.
When does Toto ever look happy?
He hasn't looked happy since 2020. In fact, the last time Toto looked happy, I can't even say Saudi Arabia, 2021, because he's smashed his headphones. So, yeah.
Yes.
So, Sky off for a break, which means we're going to hand over to BBC 5 Live this week with Ben Edwards as well, because guess who hasn't got the red button working today, because it's not working. So, back over to Ben Edwards.
With Russell second, and looking at the medium speed corner data, it is Russell and Hamilton that are fastest in the medium speed corners in the Mercedes, then the Ferraris, quicker than the Red Bulls. And where are Red Bull? Well, at the moment, Sergio Perez is 7th, and Max Verstappen, championship leader, is 8th, a full second away. We haven't seen a lot from them in the last few laps, but this is very, very interesting. We are definitely seeing a bit of a difference in performance to what we've seen recently.
Yeah, but I never like to get my hopes up too early, Ben.
It is P1, and I know we often...
I've fallen guilty of that numerous times. I was just looking at Lewis Hamilton's tyre. It looked like he's got some flat spots, certainly on the rear of the tyre there from where he...
Did anyone hear a duck?
To try and avoid making contact with the wall.
Good,
so I
good.
wouldn't be surprised if we see him abandon any real push laps and come back into the pits, but actually majority of the cars are in the pits at the moment. The two Alpines are circulating. Bottas, Sargent's out on track as well. Hamilton's going around slowly, but I expect him to come into the pits.
I wonder if there's a problem for Zhou Guanyu, because he's only done 5 laps. He's right down at the bottom in terms of times at the moment, and it's still in the pits at this stage, so there may well be a bit of an issue. Now, we're just having a look at Logan Sargent a few moments ago as he was coming into the final section, and it was another little run into the gravel trap, no surprise, in Ravazza turn 18 and 19. But he managed to come back out of it. But obviously, you're going to lose any kind of lap time. And in a way, by adding gravel to these areas, Alice, instead of us getting penalties for them going over the curb. It's very straightforward to us all now, because if you get into the gravel, you're not going to do a quick lap.
Exactly, and it's how it should be, to be honest with you, Ben. I know it's not ideal with cars getting stuck in gravel, and it slows things down, it causes red flags, safety cars, what have you, but actually that might help things at the moment. It might spice things up, so it should be like that. But actually Sargent, I touched on it earlier, he just missed that inside curb. There's kind of 3 sections of the curb going down there. You've almost got the white part, the white line that meets the green. That is like a dip in the curb, and then the curb sort of steps up in 2 other sections. He totally missed that. If you get it on that green part of the curb, it almost pulls you round the corner, and even if you do have a little bit of understeer, that will certainly help you get round the corner, and he missed it completely. So it's nature of that corner really down into the first part of Ravazza, turn 17, is naturally understeer. Track just falls away, but he escapes the gravel just about, as Max Verstappen now has bolted on another set of the soft tyre. He is building, and tyre temperature will play a big difference here compared to in Miami. We were having air temperatures of well into the 30s at Miami. Track temperature was certainly in 56 degrees Celsius temperature, and here at the moment at Imola it's only 43, so your warm-up procedure is going to be slightly different compared to Miami. You're going to put more emphasis on making sure your tyres are in the correct window, because you haven't got the natural heat of the air and the track helping you with that.
We're just taking another look at Logan's.
Oh!
Okay, might as well come through the pit lane and remove that.
So Ted's down there.
The brake duct.
Max Verstappen with the rear brake duct coming in. Ted's there.
Pits, and we know how damaging that can be. Actually, can't it, Karuna, tear off in the side pod, whether it's your own or somebody else's?
Yeah, Oscar Piastri had a tear-off stuck on his rear wing in Miami, and you know it wasn't race ending, but it certainly cost him some rear downforce.
Right, okay, so a tear-off from his own car was caught in Verstappen. Shall I be Megan, Omi, JT, as well? It wouldn't happen if you put them in the pocket! There you go. That was me being Megan for the weekend. Megan is here this weekend, by the way. In fact, thinking about it, this is the most Megan's ever done in a Formula 1 season. She's only missed 1 Grand Prix in Japan. That's it. Because it was a night race. She's done every other race this year. I'm right there, aren't I? She has. Bahrain, Saudi, Australia, China, Miami, Imola. Yeah, so she's only missed Japan. That's a surprise. As they fly into it. You watch, I've said that now. But she's here until Azerbaijan, so yeah. Well, that's going to be fun. Imagine if Megan doesn't miss anything and then she misses the championship deciding race. Well, imagine that.
That would... Yeah.
I literally think she might cry. But she's done so much already this year. Still, that's going to be a lot more fun. George is asking, oh, never mind, Omi's dealing with that. Why is Chris McCarthy on the commentary without Alex Jakes? We have no idea why Alex isn't doing F2. Omi asked him. Didn't you, Omi?
Yeah.
Omi's down there in the pit lane for us at the moment. Ted.
Behrman, is that the back of his... Is that David, his dad, at the back of the garage?
Yeah.
I think I can see on a big screen. He's being followed not only by the Drive to Survive cameras this weekend, Ollie Behrman. Let's just put that again. Ollie Behrman, who's only doing a free practice 1 session, is the subject of the Netflix Drive to Survive cameras this weekend. Some of the full-time drivers who've done 5 years, Karun, haven't been followed by the Drive to Survive cameras. And that's a mark of where they see the interest. And Tom Carey, the F1 correspondent for the Daily Telegraph, is at the back of the Haas garage as well. So obviously he's doing a feature on Ollie Behrman as well. So that gives you some sort of steer as to the who thinks he's going to be a star of the future. Certainly a driver for next year. Right, Max Verstappen. Are you watching him now? I can just see on a hot lap. So I saw with the tear off removed from his brake duct. That's a new brake duct, and for this weekend. With some really nice new positioning as to the exit of the brake duct. And Red Bull need to understand whether it's doing its job. And to that end, the engineers have got a heat-sensitive camera, which they've been pointing at that rear corner to check when it comes into the pits, to check whether everything is cooling according to what the designs say it is. And happily, without a breakdown, a tear-off strip in front of it, it looks like it is. So now Verstappen on his way.
And Verstappen crosses the line and does the 4th fastest time, 1:17.240. Thank you, Ted, down there in the pit lane. I made a request. There's if you're a Vodafone user, by the way, and you have a Vodafone contract or pay-as-you-go, whatever, and you have the My Vodafone app, and you have the Very Me rewards, you get £2.50 off from Morrison's today, and I've requested some strawberry ice cream. And if not, tons of bourbons. Pretty much as usual.
Nice.
Boy, do I want some strawberry ice cream. Max backed off then. Several drivers still out there on the track right now. Oh, and a little bit wide there from Charles Leclerc as he comes to play. Turn 7 is looking good. JT, just letting you know, when we get to tomorrow in in practice 3, qualifying and the race, may, if possible, need your TV pictures instead of mine, just so that my laptop doesn't overheat with the amount that we have on. Yeah, just letting you know now. Because it's a little bit treacherous at the moment. Oh, I forgot the camera. Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. The Combox camera, we'll have that operational for FP2. Oh, no, we'll have that operational for, whatchamacallit later on.
Indy.
Practice. Well, if it was still for Indy, I'll never be on my phone. Oh. Get it sorted. We'll get the camera sorted. Unless it works on the PC. No, I'll overuse the PC. Joe 17th, 119.215. I need a handheld microphone. That's it. I've had enough of headsets. I want a lip mic back. I want a lip mic. This is getting ridiculous. Putting my hands in my pockets and everything. It's causing me a blister on my hand. Why do you think, if you saw me in Miami, why do you think I was holding some papers at the start? I didn't know what to do with my hands. Oh, wonderful tribute there on Danny Ricciardo's car to Roland Ratzenberger. That is wonderful. I think he's got the Senna helmet as well, hasn't he, this weekend? Sebastian Vettel's here. He's going to be driving around in one of Ayrton's old cars. I keep hearing the Discord pinging.
I also keep hearing that.
I don't know where it's coming from though. I can't find any messages. Oh no, it could be George Morgan. It is George Morgan. Right, there we go. Why have they given the new guy the commentary job and not you? Harry's more in than me at the moment. Harry's agency is Loudspeaker. The agency I'm currently trying to get in with. So give it time. So is Chris McCarthy, actually. So is George Morgan, actually. Give it time, guys, give it time. Plus, anyway, I'd much rather be here on YouTube this weekend. Got too much to do. Look at Max Verstappen then, turning in into Variante Alta. He's not looking stable.
That 11 is a disaster. Right there. 4 wheels. Yeah, I can't brake late because then the car initially wants to bottom really badly. Then the entry to Apex is not from.
Verstappen there.
Yeah, Max is not happy with that. As he bouncing, and there's proporcing JT down the start straight as well for Max. And I've just got this feeling that Red Bull look a bit more vulnerable since Miami.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've got to keep an eye on that for later on in the season.
This is a circuit not like Miami, as I've lost an internet connection, it's come back again now. Yeah, this circuit massively different to Miami, like insanely different. But Imola, it bites more. It has unforgiving segments of the track, so 100% keep an eye on it. So Look at Piastri, up to Tozer, 1.3 seconds down as he gets back on the power at the exit. 7 minutes to go of this session. It is actually turning into quite an interesting first practice as they fly through. Let's go through it for everyone listening in on said radio. Charles Leclerc, top, 116.990. Russell second, Sainz third. Perez is fourth, Verstappen fifth. Tsunoda sixth, Hamilton seventh. Piastri eighth, Gasly ninth. Stroll rounds up the top 10. Ricciardo's 11th, Ocon's 12th. Behrman 13th. Bottas 14th. Alonso 15th. Norris 16th. Zhou 17th, Sargent 18th, Albon 19th, Hulkenberg's 20th. Here's Verstappen.
It's just to break down the sectors. You're currently purple sector 1 and 3, but we're losing 4 tenths. Obviously 11 to 12 you highlighted, but turn 7, I think, and 9 are also a little bit weak. Yeah, but what is weak? I mean, I understand I'm off, but what is going on then?
Max Verstappen wanting to deafen us as it comes through Variante Alta. That was quite loud.
That was loud, yes.
A 6,000 up at the moment as well. Oh, he's off! And at Variante Alta, Verstappen cuts the corner. Rear stepping out. And suddenly, the championship leader, the man that looks unbeatable for the first time in a long time, is vulnerable. Oh. It didn't sound like Lambesi. What do you think back in that one, JT? Max is vulnerable here. He's slowing. Yeah, okay. Max, get out of the way of everyone.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if he pits this lap. Let's see.
Is he going to box? No, he's going to continue but on a slow lap. And getting out of everyone's way because he's got Hamilton coming through, then Norris and Piastri. So Max is vulnerable. Brad says, I wish they could change the format. We don't need 3 practice sessions a weekend as well. I agree with you there, Brad. I really do. We don't need 3 practices. Let's have a look then. Max under braking over the bump. The rear stepped out and then I just twitched coming into the corner. The new brake duct at the back maybe, but I don't know. There was no lock-up either. That just snapped at the rear. Well held, but that Red Bull's vulnerable. What do you think, JT? Max in trouble?
Yes, I would think Max is a little bit in trouble. Well, we've still got 2 practice sessions available to the drivers.
Max coming in 5 minutes to go. He wants to stay out there on the circuit, get another lap in and then do the practice starts, but Perez is at Variante Alta now with Hamilton just ahead of him. Max on a slow run now is only just at Tozer, coming out to Piratello at turn 7. Wow. He is 5th fastest at the moment, and it's causing problems. Norris is 16th. He's not had a fantastic opening practice as he comes across the line. Lando improves to 12th, a 118.106. But he's doing some aero data testing, so expect to see more pace from Lando in practice 2 in a couple of hours' time as he comes into the chicane. Well, this...
Leclerc.
Go on.
Yeah, Leclerc is out in front, Sainz in 3rd, so good practice 1 from the 2 Ferraris. Tsunoda in 6th as well.
Ted.
If it's cut up in boxes, and you can see next to Helmut Marko. So I think there's some job sharing around and training going on. So I think Tom is taking the engineering brunt of looking through Max Verstappen in this session. But I'm sure they'll get it sorted between Tom and Giampiero. But this is the 2nd weekend in a row that Verstappen's not happy with his Red Bull, isn't it?
And look what happened at the first. So where's Lewis Hamilton? Where's Charles Leclerc? Who's going to take victory here as well? But Lewis Hamilton can no longer say he was the last British winner in Formula 1. He couldn't say that when George Russell won as well in Sao Paulo. And he definitely can't say it now with Lando Norris winning. When I started that sentence, I forgot that George won in Sao Paulo. So... It's been a busy old week. Let's hear from Beerman.
So you've got 4 more time laps, and the lack of info is because we think you're doing a good job, mate, so all good.
Well, you're not going to tell a Ferrari driver what to do if you're sitting in a Haas, are you? You're not. Beerman is very well experienced now to one Grand Prix, several other time laps, so just let Beerman out there, let him develop, and let's see what happens. Rumours of a mid-season swap between him and Nico Hülkenberg have been suggested, but Hülkenberg will serve out the remainder of the season before he switches over to Sauber. When you started screaming, I thought Max was in the wall. No, he wasn't in the wall. It's just a big twitch. He nearly went in the wall. That's what he was like. He twitched massively through the corner. I thought it was going round, but he just saved it and tripped through the gravel area. 2 minutes to go then here for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. First practice session. And it's been quite dramatic here at Imola. As we take a look at Laurent Mikis, who is the team principal at VCarb, the RB team. Visa Cash App RB, of course. No one knows what the RB stands for, just RB. Hamilton's locked up at Acqua Minerale and run through the gravel as well. The second accident he's had down there today. He spun earlier on in the session, on board with Yuki Tsunoda, and he's got a radio message as well.
Yeah, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
That was just a few moments ago. Tsunoda is complaining about the traffic coming into Acqua Minerale.
I think he was complaining about Sergio Perez, considering where they are on the Delta screens as well. So Perez dancing around in the offline as well. Here comes Norris, fast sector 1 and 2 with another personal best as he comes across the line, and the time is up into 8th, 1:17.602. Yeah, GT, I'm not wearing a shirt on Sunday. I'm wearing a Ferrari top as we're in Imola. Imola, more a Ferrari home Grand Prix than Monza, by the way. And this circuit, of course, named after Ferrari. So, yeah, I miss Mugello as well. I tell you what, if we can have 3 races in America, we can have 3 races in Italy. I know we've got 2 races in Italy right now, but come on. It's the classic races you want. Although Miami was a banger last time out, so who knows. Verstappen's off again! He was fastest in the first sector, and Verstappen is through the gravel at Acqua Minerale. That section of track from turn 10 all the way till turn 15, he cannot get right. 3rd mistake in a row. And Max starting to look vulnerable as the checkered flag comes out. Again, JT, the rear stepping up. Max is not in form. This is the worst I've seen him.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at a replay. Talk us through it.
Turns in, bottom of the hill, hits the bump, gets on the curb, that unsettles him at the apex, and then he just runs out of braking room, and he punches the steering wheel mid-corner exit. So as soon as he turns in, he's going to get on the rumble strip. That upsets the braking. Can't get the apex and just runs off through the gravel, the new gravel they've put here. And this Red Bull does not like the bumps. It prefers billiard smooth. Problem after problem. And it's Ferrari and Mercedes picking up the pieces. Ferrari are 1st and 3rd at their home Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc coming into his own. This is getting tasty. Whew. Generally don't know what's going to happen next. Max is boxed. He's not even doing a practice start. Wow. That's when you know things are bad, if Max just wants to get out of the car. He's not doing a practice start in this first session. Runs the risk of not doing practice 2 or practice 3, but I so wish it was a sprint weekend now, because that would have mean going into qualifying. Max is really in trouble, but we get practice 2 and practice 3. So another 2 hours for Max to save himself, which is the downside of this format, unfortunately. But yeah, what a time from Charles Leclerc, 1:16.990. He's top. Is that a real threat from Ferrari? I think so. Max is vulnerable. Perez is vulnerable. And look at Tsunoda up in 6th place. Great job from him. I think if you're Ferrari, I'd feeling quite strong right now.
Yeah, absolutely. First and third, and all the Italian teams doing well.
Got a feeling
Except,
that... Yeah, go on.
yeah. Except one of them.
Which I've got a feeling that 2024 might just be a little bit more exciting than we first thought. It's got that feeling, hasn't it? Max is still there, but...
Seems like it.
There's a couple more... I don't know, yeah. They're all catching up. What this does mean is that 2025 is going to be fantastic. If it's this good now, when like next year the regulations don't change at all, it's the last year, it's going to be fantastic. So 2024 feels like the prologue to come into it as well. Boy, do I love Formula One. This is really where it's getting entertaining. Cars are doing their practice starts on the grid, by the way. You can see them lining up just alongside. 3 drivers in the pit lane, Alonso, Albon and Verstappen not doing a practice start and going out on it.
Albon because of his issue earlier, Verstappen because of the problems. No idea why.
Oh, well, it's Fernando, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alonso's done 18 laps in this session as well. The least apart from that of everyone else. Okay. Here's your results then from the first practice session for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc is fastest, George Russell is second, Carlos Sainz is third, with Sergio Perez fourth, Max Verstappen is fifth, Yuki Tsunoda sixth, Lewis Hamilton is seventh, eighth for Lando Norris, ninth for Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso rounds out the said top 10. Pierre Gasly is 11th, Lance Stroll is 12th, Daniel Ricciardo 13th, Esteban Ocon 14th, Ollie Behrman 15th, 16th for Valtteri Bottas, 17th Zhou Guanyu, 18th for Sargent, 19th for Albon. Hülkenberg is 20th at a 1:21.059. So as the drivers come back into the pit lane then, JT, after the session, what did you make of the first practice here from Imola?
It was an alright session, lots of mistakes, and a couple even from Max Verstappen, so I'll have to keep an eye on those drivers. Keep an eye on Alex Albon as well in practice too.
Absolutely. Omi, what about you? What did you make of it?
It is looking very competitive. For Miami, we can already tell that Max Verstappen could be a bit vulnerable, and he absolutely is. Already shown. Ferrari upgrades are looking good. Mercedes also looking pretty good as well. But this is just practice 1. We've got 2 more practice for Red Bull to sort it out, and we'll find out in FP2 what happens then and get a better idea of how all of the updates are looking for all of the teams and how is the pecking order looking like.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be back in a few hours' time then for the second practice session of F1. But stay with us here on JB Motorsports, as coming up next is qualifying for Formula 3's Emilia-Romagna feature and sprint race. So don't go anywhere. It's Charles Leclerc fastest in the first session here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.